question of the day for you all. If you could be in any country in Epcot right now, which country would you choose to be in and why?
Okay, easy for me. My favorite. Wait, you mean in Epcot, right?
Are there other countries in Disney World?
Yes, there are.
Or
Yes,
in
there
Epcot?
are.
And I said Epcot. I said Epcot. So are there other countries in Epcot than World Showcase? No.
No. I just wasn't listening and I didn't hear that part. The Mexican Pavilion for me. That's my favorite.
Okay.
I could spend all day probably in the Mexico Pavilion drinking margaritas. The culture is one of my favorite cultures. I love the music. I love the food and the drinks. We are drinking margaritas right now, so
We are.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to have to say the Germany Pavilion.
Okay. Tell us why.
I don't know.
That's good reasoning. That tracks.
It's
For
still
the bangers and mash.
no
From
for
Germany?
the pretzel.
That would be United Kingdom.
That's true.
Let me see. So no.
No. The pretzel and we didn't really explore it last time, so it's kind of left unexplored in my book.
Yeah, that's where Candace and I get most of our wine stems from. Is the
Oh,
glass maker
cute.
there in the Germany Pavilion.
Hell yeah.
So I would have to say, and this should probably come as no surprise to anyone, Morocco.
Okay, tell us why.
Hands down, that is my favorite pavilion in all of World Showcase. It is beautiful, visually stunning, and the deeper that you get into the pavilion, the more you see.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yes. For me, I'm feeling France
Ooh.
tonight.
Ooh la la.
Because really what's been running through my head all day long since we decided we were going to talk about tonight as our topic, and we're not even going to get to France tonight, but I've been dreaming of the ice cream sandwich.
Oh, yes.
What restaurant is that from?
Le Artisan de Glace.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, the ice cream sandwich is a nice warm brioche roll. They cut it in half. They put a scoop of whatever flavor ice cream you want in the middle of it and then put it in like this panini press. So you get this nice, warm, cold, whatever flavor you want in a sweetened brioche. It's like French toast ice cream sandwich.
That sounds illegal and I want it.
Right? That's been running through my head all day long. Welcome to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. I'm Scott.
I'm Candace.
I'm Lariah.
And I'm Lacey. Grab a drink and come hang with us at the Hangar Bar.
Welcome back, everyone, to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. We are so glad that you are here.
Hello.
Once again, you have all four of us together. Yay!
Woot.
Hooray!
And believe it or not, we are coming up on the end of season 3.
Boo. Tear.
Oh my. There's some dramatics for you. But for the next few weeks that we have left in our season, we are going to be talking in depth about the different pavilions around World Showcase at Epcot.
Which we promised you back in season 1 and are just now getting back to.
We've had a lot to talk about. A lot's been happening. We've had a lot.
Yes,
Correct.
that is correct. So we're going to start in Canada, right?
Absolutely not.
And why aren't we starting in Canada? It seems like the place to go
But why?
because it's closer to America. They can't see the look you're giving me.
No, that logic doesn't even track.
And this is Scott just pressing buttons because he knows the right way to start is in Mexico. But
Absolutely,
I
it
got to
is.
press buttons every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Keep you on your toes.
Okay. Turn my hair gray.
You're a ginger. You don't go gray.
That's very true. But anyway, we are starting the correct direction in World Showcase, and we are starting with the Mexico Pavilion.
Okay. That sounds like fun. So how far are we going around World Showcase tonight?
We will do 3 pavilions. So
Okay,
we
we're
will
gonna
do
get through
Mexico,
3.
Norway, and China.
Okay. So high level, let's just talk about what's in Mexico. And then maybe we can get into the history and that kind of thing. So I'm going to do this as a little bit of a test of myself. So you go into the Mexico Pavilion, you have the pyramid, which has a couple of different restaurants, has the only attraction in the Mexico Pavilion, which is the 3 Caballeros attraction.
Grand Fiesta Tour.
And then across the street, you have another restaurant. Is that it?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, it packs a punch, but...
Yeah, there's a lot there. I make it sound like there's not much
Yeah.
there. Oh, there's also some really cool live entertainment there. There's a live mariachi band that
Mariachi Cobra.
plays outside there. So we'll get into all of these details and a lot more in depth. So Candace, you are the map. Tell us what we need to know.
Okay, so the Mexico Pavilion features a lush tangle of tropical vegetation surrounding the Great Pyramid that encloses the pavilion and the Mexican restaurant on the edge of World Showcase Lagoon. Provides the barest suggestion of the immersive and charming area inside the pyramid, which we all love.
Yes.
So you can go inside, folks. It's not just
Just outside.
The only thing you cannot do is go up the outside of the pyramid.
Except on the stairs that are provided. But do not climb the pyramid.
Yes.
That's a good way to get you kicked out of the park.
For clarity, yes. You are
Yes.
allowed to walk up the stairs to get into the building. You are not allowed to climb to the top.
Yes.
Yes.
Dominated by a recreation of a quaint plaza at dusk, the pyramid's interior is rimmed by balconied, tile-roofed colonial-style structures. Crowding a fountain area is a marketplace selling handicrafts, and to the left is a shop stocked with other handsome wares. On the right is a hopping cocktail spot known as La Cava del Tequila.
Woot!
To the rear, the San Angel Inn serves authentic fare. And behind it, a waterborne attraction features a whirlwind Mexican tour.
Okay, so let's pause for just a second since we're going in depth and start sharing our opinions a little bit as you talk through.
Okay.
The inside of the pyramid is Disney Imagineering at its best.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Agree.
Yeah. It really transports you.
Yeah, and you go in, and I'm sure it's all tchotchkes and that kind of thing, but it feels like authentic Mexican art and street goods and that kind of thing
very
that you
much
would
is.
find in like plaza squares and that kind of thing in Mexico. Masks, all those kind of things,
Sugar
or things that
skulls.
sugar skulls, all these things that you can buy. The architecture, the way they build the architecture makes it look like you are actually in a town square, even though you're just in a great big enclosed room. The way they've built that and designed that is just fantastic. It just immerses you in that moment, and it has there. Even if it's not crowded, it feels crowded to give you that sense of
Hustle and bustle
hustle
and
and
busy. And,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
Love
love
it.
the inside of the pyramid.
Yeah.
And it's decked out like a market at night, which I'm sorry.
Yes.
Walt said it himself. His parks were his favorite at night.
Yes.
And there is just something very magical that happens at night inside the parks. And so it's night all the time in that pavilion, which I love.
Yeah.
The air conditioning helps too. But that's
But the darkness helps set the mood of it. Like,
yes.
Right.
it's just, it is like you're going through a portal into Mexico. It's like, it's the coolest feeling ever.
And wouldn't you agree that it's a little bit more cozy than if it would be like out in the bright sunshine, or if they had designed it like it was out in the sunshine rather than at night?
Oh, absolutely. Us four here, we have Fire Pit Friday nights. And there is nothing like being outside in the dark when it's cool out. That is just the coziest feeling. And here in Nebraska, we don't get many cool evenings. So I agree with you, Candace. It is very cozy in the pyramid. with all like the lights too from the restaurant and all of that.
And I will say, like with all of the market booths and all of that sort of thing, it's a bit overwhelming for me because there's so much to look at in so many different directions. And then, of course, me being the detail person that I am, I'm also looking up at the buildings and like just kind of like imagining that there might be somebody up there. You know what I mean? Not like freaky or anything, but just like that's somebody's home and like what they may be doing.
Yes. And the inside of that pavilion is home to, at time of recording, probably my second or third favorite attraction in all of Epcot.
Grand Fiesta Tour featuring the 3 Caballeros.
Even though I think it needs to be updated to Coco, I think it's amazing the way it is. I think it would be even more amazing with a Coco theme.
I think adding Coco in, I still want the 3 Caballeros to be a part of it. I think combining the two and kind of crossing them, I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
For those that have never been there, the back wall of the pyramid is painted like a landscape with a giant volcano that's consistently smoking. Mm-hmm. I have often thought, and I know at least one person that would probably scratch my eyes out for saying this, but I have often thought that it would be very cool if they would repaint that wall to resemble the City of the Dead scene from Coco.
Yeah.
I think that would be beautiful.
I love that.
I like
when
that.
they're flying in the trolley car.
Yeah.
And it's just that whole... I think that would be beautiful.
I think
That
so.
would be stunning.
I understand why it's a little bit like nostalgic as it is, and it totally fits with the ride. Attraction. Excuse me.
Whoa.
Drink.
I know. Cheers. But I think that would be amazing.
Okay, what else? Anything else we want to talk about in the pyramid?
We have not experienced it personally, but La Cava del Tequila is one of the most popular bar/lounges on property.
So far.
So far.
We have not experienced it so far.
Right.
Soon, Candace.
Soon. Yes.
Yes, home of the margaritas that you can get with the black ant salt rim. That's right. I said ant. Mm-hmm. Those drinks are the minty pineapple margarita and the Casa Dragonis margarita that you will get with those ant legs and bodies around the rim.
Okay, well, excuse me. The mint pineapple one sounds fantastic, and I would probably just have them leave the ant bits off.
You know what, Candace? As I was writing this down in my notes, I knew you were going to say that, and I agree, because a minty pineapple margarita sounds so good, especially in that Florida heat.
Yes.
Can you repeat the second drink?
Casa Dragonis.
Okay.
So it's the house dragon
Okay.
margarita. I'm not really sure what's in it.
Tequila, I bet.
Oh.
I think there is a shot or two of tequila. So, which is your
That's
favorite?
good to know. It is. Margaritas are my favorite, hands down.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not drinking.
I know.
She's
I know.
boring. She's not an alcoholic like me. Just kidding. I'm not an alcoholic.
Okay, well, Scott, cheers to black ant salt.
Mm-hmm.
Because the next time we are there, you're getting one, I'm getting one.
Okay,
We're gonna
so
drink 'em.
here's the question. We're probably going to go back to Disney World before you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to wait on that experience for when you are there?
No, I don't want you to wait.
I
She
would.
wants you to try it first, and then if you throw up, then she won't have to get one next time. Or if you're walking around with the ant legs stuck in your teeth.
You're the guinea pig.
I'm fine with that.
No, you just have to tell me which one, or if
Okay.
you get both of them,
Okay.
and you.
Oh, I will get the mint pineapple situation without the ant bits. Thank you.
You have to have a little ant bits.
No.
Just a
No.
smear. Just
No.
a smear.
Absolutely
Just
no
a smear.
Smear or schmear like cream cheese?
Oh, goodness.
No.
Okay, what else? Do we need to go back outside now?
Oh,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, also inside, like right now, we haven't been for a few years, but last time we were there, it was decorated very much with the cocoa and the Land of the Dead and that kind of thing in the entryway, which is really cool just to see how that's all set up. And like you'll notice that as we go through each pavilion, there's a lot of history, there's a lot of accuracy that they put into it, and that pavilion, that building in that pavilion is no different. There's a lot of really cool things. You got to take your time to look around.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I'm looking forward to most when we go back is just spending a little bit of time looking around. Maybe getting my tequila flight and walking around and looking at things.
That sounds great.
Yeah, in each one of the pavilions, I really appreciate how much attention to detail and appreciation of culture
Yes.
Disney has put into all of that. That it's like you can't help but learn something.
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that. And you're having a great time while you're doing it, so it's not boring at all.
Henceforth, Epcot.
Thank you.
Leave it that way.
Edutainment. Hello. Okay. So, are we ready to go outside the pyramid?
So, for the sake of time, are we going to talk menus and that kind of thing at different restaurants? Do we, while we're in this pavilion, do we want to talk about the restaurant, or do you just want to like it's elevated Mexican food? Do we want to talk through menus? No is okay.
I would say if there's something you want to bring up, bring it up.
Yeah.
If it's like a menu item.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Listen. So we have not actually eaten at San Angel Inn. I think we talked about this in a previous season, in a previous episode. We actually ate at Stan and Helen's, which is across the road from the pavilion. And that was a happy accident that I got that reservation. What I've heard about San Angel Inn, which is the one in the pavilion, which overlooks the beginning of the Grand Fiesta Tour ride, by the way, is it's Mexican food, and it's American Mexican food.
Right.
And it's meh. Like, it's a hit or a miss, and it's not really consistent.
We have a friend that loves it, though.
Yes, and I don't...
It's been a while since she's been there, but she loved it when she went.
And I'm thinking that part of that might have to do with family and nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be interested to see, because... I mean, if you go... In my opinion, and again, we haven't been to San Angel Inn, so I can't... But just looking at their menus and things... I feel like La Casa de San Angel, which is across the road and where we ate, is more elevated American Mexican, maybe a little bit more authentic Mexican than San Angel Inn.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. But the San Angel Inn, like you said, you kind of blew over it a little bit, but you get a table that's overlooking the beginning of the
Grand Fiesta Tour.
Grand Fiesta Tour, and it's all very meta because you're in a pyramid looking at a pyramid
And a volcano.
and a volcano. It's all very
boat.
meta in a boat. But yeah, I think there's some of that too, as the atmosphere in San Angel Inn is probably a better atmosphere than what you get across the road at Stan and Helen's, but I think the food might not be as good. But we'll see. We're like, if you haven't picked up on the hint yet, Candace and I have a trip planned coming up next year, early next year, and one of the places we're definitely going to go is to the San Angel Inn, because the friend we're talking about, that's one of the special places that she wants to go. So we talk about those lists of must-dos. That's on her list of must-dos, so we're all going to go there, which is awesome.
And I think I need to correct myself. I think I called Stan and Helen's La Casa de San Angel, but it is La Hacienda de San Angel. So,
Right.
Excuse me, the map was wrong.
No.
No.
Oh my.
We've just called it Stan and Helen's for so long we've forgotten the actual name.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, when you started to say, I'm like, what? Sin and Hell. Oh, Stan and Howland's. Yes. Which we were huge fans of that restaurant.
Yes.
So I'm
And
very
Francisco.
and Francisco. Yes.
Our waiter made that restaurant. The food was really good. It was,
Yes.
but like I think we would not have walked away from there with the positive vibes that we had it not been for Francisco.
100%.
Yeah.
The food was great, but you can get great food a lot of different places. The server we had made all the difference that night.
Great food, a lot of different places, probably for a lower price point.
Probably, yes.
And yet it was him
Yeah.
and how he interacted with us. And, yeah, his service level, it was phenomenal.
It was
excellent.
a great night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he bought us shots of Patron. So
I mean, yeah,
we like Francisco.
we do. That's fun to say.
Francisco.
Okay, so are we moving along?
Yeah, are we going back outside? Is there more you want to talk about with Mexico?
We do need to go outside just to not skip over a very important thing.
Okay.
Outside in the Mexico Pavilion, you can actually meet Donald Duck.
In a sombrero.
In a sombrero and a serape. So, super adorable. And Donald is actually kind of a hard find.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I feel like there was one character dining that we got to meet him.
It
He was
was
at Tusker House.
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
he at Tusker House?
and Daisy
And
too.
Daisy was too, right? Okay.
And
Okay.
she's a really hard find.
Yeah. So, you can meet Donald Duck in a sombrero. We love a themed Disney character.
Their costumes are just so cute. I mean, their normal clothes are fine. But they're just so cute when they get in costumes.
They're normal clothes.
Their people clothes are fine, but you
Prefer
know.
costumes.
So here's the question. When Donald Duck goes swimming, he wears pants, but most of the time he doesn't. Even when he's wearing the serape in Mexico, he doesn't. What's up with that?
Why don't you go ask him
Yeah.
the next time?
Next time I meet Donald, I'm going to ask him why he wears pants sometimes and not others.
Do you suppose it's in case like water moves his feathers out of ways of certain things and not being appropriate?
He's just gonna quack at you and walk away.
Right?
Probably one of these.
Yeah, they can't see you
palm.
doing that. She put her hands over her eyes and shook her head. We are not a video podcast, kiddos.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I look very homely tonight.
I always look homeless.
Are you comfortable though?
I'm so comfortable.
Well, then that's all that matters.
Homeless is the vibe we're going for.
We have succeeded.
Yes.
All of us.
Okay, so is that it for Mexico?
I think so.
Anything else you all want to talk about from Mexico?
just that it's the greatest pavilion, in my opinion. I love it there.
It's a good one.
And there's one quick service stand also next to La Hacienda de San Angel.
Yes.
Okay.
And they have like street tacos and things like that there. And then there's a margarita bar across a little bit. But lots to be explored, lots to do. I mean, for the space that pavilion takes up, I think they probably have the most food and beverage options in that location.
Yeah, per square foot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in that pavilion.
Yeah, so that's why you start there and work outward.
And who doesn't want to start with tequila and then move on to other drinks from there?
Well, I mean, it's the only alcohol that's actually an upper. So,
Is it really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you want a shot? I got some.
No, that's okay.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
You're silly.
Shot,
One on
shot,
fire.
shot.
Shot.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how to do those?
Do
Have you seen the ones you light on fire?
yeah, I'm not going to do that in my house though.
Well, we can
Well,
go outside.
we should learn
Let's not, okay?
Fire Pit Friday next time.
Literally.
Which one of us turns into the fire pit at that point?
None of us work for Cirque du Soleil. Thank you very much.
Yet.
Yet.
Yet. Is this a plan that you have?
Well, she's like the circus weirdo.
Oh, I love the circus.
So
Ew.
she wants to be
I
a
love it.
contortionist.
No, Ariel.
Oh, okay.
Moving on.
We've now had enough tequila. It's time to leave Mexico.
Shoot.
No.
No.
All right, so we are moving along and headed into Norway.
Woo.
So just a brief little introduction.
Land of trolls and gnomes. What's that from Book of Mormon?
Yes, thank you from Book of Mormon. Set between Mexico and China is Norway, a pavilion added to the World Showcase mix in 1988. Built in conjunction with Norwegian companies, the pavilion celebrates the rich history, folklore, and culture of one of the Western world's oldest countries. The cobblestone town square is an architectural showcase of the styles of such Norwegian towns as Bergen, Ålesund, and Oslo. There's also a Norwegian castle fashioned after Akershus, a 14th century fortress still standing along Oslo's harbor. The castle here houses the Akershus restaurant. Few can resist walking into the bakery for a taste of its treats. In a show of modernity...
That's a big word.
That is a big word. Mm-hmm. A statue of Norway's legendary marathoner, Greet Waltz, stands behind the bakery. Shops stock handicrafts and folk items, hand-knit woolens, wood carvings, and glass and metal artwork. Frozen fans can also visit Arendelle in the popular attraction Frozen Ever After. And for those guests who would like to meet Anna and Elsa of Frozen fame, great news, they're here.
I can sense your excitement about the dropping of IP where it doesn't belong.
Thank you. This is the pavilion that started that whole mess, you realize.
Yeah.
See, but here's the thing. Other than Frozen, other IP that they've dropped into the pavilions has made sense in that pavilion. You can disagree whether or not you need to have an attraction there, but the other things they've dropped in have made sense. This one makes no sense. Frozen does not take place in Norway.
Ish. I mean, it does, but it's
Norway adjacent.
Right, but it's a fictional.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Arendelle is not a real place.
Right.
So, yes. Do we need to revisit my saltiness about all of this?
No, I think it's been well documented, your feelings.
I just wait for the feelings to pass, and I don't think they're going to ever. Because the Maelstrom was so wonderful.
Yeah, and the Maelstrom made sense in that pavilion.
It told the history of Norway.
Right. So I don't think you'll get anybody in this room to say that Frozen should be in that pavilion. Like, I could see them saying, "Hey, we're going to do a character meet and greet here, and Arendelle is Norway adjacent," but retheming an entire ride that told the history of Norway into talking about Let It Go from a fictional city, just I think the Imagineers kind of got that one wrong.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they've had character meet and greets of the characters in their native countries since the beginning. That I have no problem with whatsoever. In fact, I think it's great because kids need to realize that characters are from all over the world, not just here in America.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the way that you can introduce children to culture and get them into some of that, fantastic.
Right.
Exactly.
But no.
Yeah, that was a bad move.
Yeah.
Really bad mood. And I have never rode the Maelstrom. So knowing that I missed that opportunity, I'm still going to ride Frozen because I need to ride all the rides at Disney. Okay, well, we went on the Astrid Orbiter, and that was, if I'm going to ride that...
Astrid Orbiter.
Astrid.
Astro Orbiter.
Oh, is it that? See, I don't even care what it's called. How much I hate it.
Astrid.
Astrid. That's the new name.
It's the Astrid Orbiter, and we're not in Epcot anymore. So
Astrid Levinson. Go ahead.
Assy. But yeah, I just thought that was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah. Not a good fit. Let's move on from that. It's on the same track as Maelstrom. They at least put nods to Maelstrom in the queue line. But, yeah.
It's still a mess.
Okay, so what else other than a ride we don't appreciate is there in Norway?
So my favorite part of that entire pavilion is actually the stave church.
Yes.
And so it's actually a stave church that they brought over from Norway. And there's only 30 stave churches that still stand in Norway today.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's there, and it's very beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. And then the inside, they have an exhibit about Viking folklore. So like the heroes and the villains of Viking folklore. And of course, they have things like Thor and Loki and all those things that fit in other parts of the Disney universe, which we're not going to talk about because if they start throwing Marvel into that, I'm just going to throw up. But that's where those come from.
Yes.
Is there's actual like cultural stories that back this up. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with that part of it. I just don't need to see that.
Battle
Right.
Thor in the virtual reality.
No.
Do not give them any ideas.
Josh, tomorrow, do not call us about that idea.
No, call me about the other things that I've wanted to talk to you about for a long time, sir. Thank you. They do have a really neat gift shop over there where there is kind of a giant statue of a troll. And he's very cute. And it's kind of a fun little photo op if you take time to take a picture with him. He's kind of cute.
We love photo ops.
We do. So, I feel like that pavilion is one we've not explored much. We've not been inside the Stave Church.
I have been.
I have not.
I think you have.
I don't think we went. I've not been in there with you.
Okay, then I went by myself, but
Or you went the first time you went to Disney.
I've been in there multiple times.
Okay, I do not remember it.
I have never really explored. We went over there to check the ride times for Frozen, and it was way too long. I think it was over 60 minutes.
A minute would be too long for that trash.
I think Scott is the only willing one to go on that ride.
I want to go on it.
Yeah.
No.
I'd go on it, but I'd be obnoxious the entire time.
You would be rolling your eyes the entire
It would probably stick.
ride.
That would
honestly.
be a video. Subscribe for exclusive content to see Candace's reaction on Frozen Ever After.
So there's that one picture on social media of the lady going down the flume in Splash Mountain, where she's just like sitting there like the most unimpressed thing ever, and you're going down like a 53-foot drop, and she's just like, that would be me.
You know, you are my favorite person to look at on all of our ride pictures because we got the memory maker last time we went, and your face, I always zoom on your face because you are the one of us riding the mine train. You are gripping on for dear life on this kiddie coaster, and it kills me. We all are, but you're the only one who looks a little nervous. All of us are smiling, and you're like, "Okay, guys, this is
This is serious.
There's danger involved here." Okay, I get freaked out by the death drop on Pirates.
That's
so
true.
I'm just safety conscious.
Okay, we've completely gone off the rails again. I love that. I love that for us. Okay, so back to Norway. We were talking about not having been really... That's one I feel like we haven't explored much. I've never eaten food from there. So there's... The only restaurant is quick service, right? It's the Kringla Bakery.
Right.
And the famous thing from there
Well,
is the...
Akershus is there as well, which is a character dining buffet situation.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah. They have
Okay.
Belle, Ariel, Cinderella, and Rapunzel there.
What kind of food do they serve?
Norwegian food.
Okay.
like herring and cheese and things like that.
Okay. Huh.
That would kind of be interesting.
Yeah.
To experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would want to waste a credit on that necessarily. For like the.
I mean, we did Tusker House, and I don't know that I'd go back there.
Yeah,
but now
that's
that I
true.
know that
Mhm.
now that we've done it, I know that.
Right.
Well, and as Disney podcasters, I feel like we need to try each restaurant
For
once.
science,
that's
For
true.
so we have
science.
credibility.
Yes.
Exactly.
Do you know why all the princesses are there?
Because it's after a castle, like I read in the introduction.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a 14th century castle called Akershus,
Oh, that's right.
and
okay.
so you're having dinner with the princesses.
The other princesses are there visiting.
Yes,
Okay. That sounds
and
more
then
interesting.
Anna and
now.
Elsa have their summer house where you go meet them because they're too special to hang out with the other girls.
In a summer house.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a theme.
What?
Summer, winter, Elsa. Pick one.
Just be quiet.
Let it go, Lariah. Let it go.
Oh my God! I can't believe you made that joke.
I know.
Show yourself, Candace.
She's turning.
No.
We're going to go into the unknown.
Okay. Show yourself. No, let's.
I already did that one.
Would you, Candace? Go ahead. I'm so sorry for Lorraine's interruption.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But yes,
Some things never
Kringle
change.
Bakery is something that I want to explore.
Yes.
The
I
famous
want the
thing there
Viking
is,
coffee.
what is the Viking coffee?
It's coffee with alcohol in it.
Oh yes.
You
I'm not a coffee alcohol girl.
you haven't had good.
I would try it. I just
Don't ever say you're not a coffee alcohol. Like are you
coffee
kidding-
in alcohol.
Oh well,
No, this is alcohol in coffee.
dummy. Good one, Candace.
That
It looks pretty good.
I would try it.
It looks like a latte sort of situation.
With booze.
What's
Yeah.
the booze they use?
I don't know. You're the menu guy.
Wouldn't you think it would be like a darker booze,
I would think it would be like,
like a liqueur?
yeah, like Kahlua or something, but that's Mexican, so it can't be that.
No.
Hold, please.
It may even be some sort of chocolate, which, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey's, Kahlua, coffee, sugar to taste, and whipped cream.
Yes.
Yeah, you would, and you
I
would like it.
do not like Kahlua and I do not like Bailey's.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
I don't-
seriously.
It's just like creamy alcohol.
Yeah.
Wait, don't you like rum chata?
Uh-uh.
I don't feel like I know you.
Sorry.
I mean, it's fine. You can have your opinion. You're wrong, but you can
Yeah.
have your opinion.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Yep.
I'm just showing a picture
I'd try
of
it. I'd give it a go.
It look-
I would share
The-
because it's probably
Thank
too
you.
much for.
The picture that I'm
See,
looking
that's
at
what
makes
I'm
it.
saying is that
It
it
would be
might
really
get
sweet. And also, with that in 100-degree Florida heat, I would want to either drink it really fast because if it got warm, okay. But
the picture we're looking at makes it look like a mudslide. Like
Yes.
that's probably a more common, like people know how restaurants serve a mudslide with the chocolate poured down the sides and then the slushy drink in the middle.
Okay, wait. Hold on. When we went to Orange Beach, you had a bushwhacker, correct?
Yes.
same kind of thing.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Okay, because that was good.
No coffee in it.
No coffee.
Oh, no coffee in it?
no.
No.
Okay.
So
But you would
bushwhacker with coffee.
Okay.
You
Okay.
could get behind that.
I could.
But again, I would have to drink that really fast.
Yeah.
Like not like slam it, but in a moderately quick amount of time so it didn't get warm
Yeah.
because that would be disgusting.
When did you have a bushwhacker?
When we were staying in the hotel on the way back and we were sitting lounging by the pool.
Yes. Okay. From our Disney trip, Orange
Yes.
Beach vacation. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So, and a bushwhacker has coconut rum, vodka, Bailey's, Kahlua, amaretto, and cream of coconut, along with chocolate syrup, whipped cream, and nutmeg.
See,
Nut
the
bang.
Viking coffee just sounds better to me. And I love bushwhackers, but
Yeah.
that just sounds real nice.
Uh huh.
Okay.
And then I know that, Laura, you wanted to try the troll horn.
Yes.
And then there's been talk about trying school bread, and I simply can't.
I wouldn't try the, like, I'm not a coconut person unless it's in an alcoholic beverage like the Bushwhacker or a pina colada. I just can't with the texture of coconut. So, like, the school bread would not be up my alley.
I can't do it because of the custard. I just, no.
I will try it and let you know.
Yeah, take one for the team.
Sound like something you'd enjoy?
Yeah, she
Like
would
a
like that.
custardy filled bread with coconut on top?
Right up my alley.
I've heard it's a really kind of divisive snack just because there's a certain spice to it's cardamom is the spice that's in the bread.
Oh, okay.
So you would have sort of a savory sweet combination thing going on plus the coconut and all the things. So I'm thinking that would be pretty difficult.
Okay. Understandable. Yes.
There's Olaf
okay.
on the top.
Of course there is.
IP is even in your food.
That way they
pee in
can
my
charge another
food?
$3 for it.
Just for the Olaf plastic piece.
It's probably a white chocolate or a fondant.
See, that just looks so good. I love coconut so much.
Doesn't help that I have a sweet tooth right now.
And I'm seeing that at the gift shop they have Viking helmets. So I'm thinking we're going to have to make the ultimate
braids?
purchase. And
Do they make Viking helmets big enough for my fat head?
well, they made them for real Vikings, so I'm sure.
My guess is they're plastic and they'd make me look like I was special.
But you
okay,
are,
you are
in the
special.
best of ways.
You're gonna look great.
Yeah, have you seen that? Maybe the thumbnail this week will be me and the picture of my Darth Vader Mickey ears. Like one of our trips, I went and put on it may have even, I don't remember which shop
It
we
was
were
World
in,
of Disney.
and like they had Mickey ears that look like a Darth Vader helmet with just the face open but with mouse ears, and it was just about 4 sizes too small for my fat head.
No.
It fit you, though. It wasn't like perched on top of your head. You got it on.
I probably broke it getting it on, but like I looked like a wrapped ham in that thing.
No.
You didn't.
Maybe that will be the thumbnail for this one and make people wonder why I put a picture of a fat kid in a little hat on
No.
on our thumbnail.
It's clickbait.
Yes.
Yes. Anakin on a questionable day.
Fat
Disney.
kid in a little hat.
Well, that was special. Speaking of special.
Okay, what else
What
about
else
Norway?
about Norway? Oh, the thing I would like to see more with this pavilion would be more about like the culture of Norway, not just the Vikings, not just the mythological stories and all that, but actually the story of the people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no.
No, we can't do that.
It also is the newest nation added to World Showcase.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. So, which you said it was in 1988.
I did.
So that was a long time ago. It's kind of crazy how they haven't added another country yet. But I guess they've been too busy focusing on IP.
Right. And there's not a lot of room back there to add more countries.
I heard there's a ton of room for like lots more countries. That's
Really?
what I've heard. Yeah. That they could include how many more? Like at least
6 more.
Yeah.
They originally
Where?
had spots for
Yeah.
17 countries.
Where?
I don't know.
Huh.
But like if you think about it, like the little refreshment post
Yep.
going around the corner, that's just a stand sitting right there. They could totally build that
Yeah,
out and back.
that's true.
Yeah, I'll have to try to find there's a map where someone put in
Where the other countries would be.
yeah. Cuz there's not like I guess Africa is a lot of
Morocco.
yeah, and then more of the countries in Africa are located in Animal Kingdom.
Right.
But I still think that would be a really cool way to expand. So maybe like on these few episodes, we could talk about the countries that were supposed to be there and maybe what we would like to see
Yes, I would love that.
in those pavilions.
Maybe we do that for our last episode of the season.
I like that.
Like we'll go through the detail of everything that's there, and then the last episode we'll just talk about the things that we'd love to see.
I like it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so
All
are we
right.
ready to move on?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So the next pavilion that we will come to when you're walking in the right direction,
And the last one tonight.
and the last one for this
episode
is going to be China. So dominated by the Disney version of Beijing's Temple of Heaven and announced by banners that proclaim good wishes to passerby, the Chinese characters translate to "May good fortune follow you on your path through life, and may virtue be your neighbor," which is awesome. This pavilion conveys a level of serenity that offers an appealing contrast to the hearty merriment of bordering Germany and the gaiety of nearby Mexico. Part of this quiet environment is the byproduct of the soothing traditional Chinese music. The gardens also make a major contribution. They are full of rose bushes native to China, and there is a century-old mulberry tree to the left of the main walkway into the pavilion, with a pomegranate tree and wiggly-looking Florida native known as a water oak. The number of stones in the floor of this pavilion's main structure is not random. The center stone is surrounded by the 9 stones because 9 is considered a lucky number in China. Around the edge of the outer room rise 12 columns because 12 is a number of months of the year and the number of years in a full cycle of the Chinese calendar. Be sure to stand on the round stone in the center of the room. Every whisper is amplified.
Ooh.
The spacious emporium is devoted to wares from China, and 2 eateries add to the overall atmosphere. However, all this is secondary to the motion picture shown inside the Temple of Heaven, a Circle Vision 360 film that is one of the most diverting World Showcase attractions. Keep in mind that this movie is a standing room only viewing experience.
I think my favorite part of China now, and this is another one we've not explored a lot. We've gone into some of the shops and that kind of thing that are, if I'm remembering correctly, are kind of back tucked away. But my favorite part is those gardens you described.
Yes.
They're it's beautiful. It
And
just
very peaceful.
yeah. On a busy theme park day, even though it's kind of out front and center, you get into those gardens and you just get that sense that
You get lost.
you get lost in the moment. You get that sense that you're kind of alone, and which is strange. Like I think that's some of my favorite things at Disney are those moments where you can go get lost, and when you know you're with 10,000 of your closest friends or 100,000 of your closest friends, you can feel alone. I love those moments around Disney, and those gardens are one of those spaces.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, that's probably one of the things that I like the best about all of the pavilions. Well, most of the pavilions is just that sense of how you just kind of get transported to that spot.
Yes. They do a good job of making it feel real to where you feel like you're actually in the country. I do think that the best pavilion that does that is Morocco. The theming is incredible to where you feel like you're actually there. But I think a lot that has to do with that, especially in the China pavilion, is when I think about that, we did not spend very much time in the China pavilion. But what I can remember most is the music. I can instantly hear the music, and it's just so soothing and, it helps with that experience of being transported to the country.
And how sad is it that most people are like running through so fast, going from thing to thing to thing, that they're not even paying attention to all of that stuff? And it's a huge miss, in my opinion.
Yep.
Oh,
That if you
yeah.
don't take the time to just really immerse yourself in it, you're only seeing the surface level of pretty much the entire park.
Right.
And that's sad because there's so much there.
Yeah, my mantra a lot this year has been if you don't want the detail, if you're not going to pay attention to the detail of Disney, go to Universal, go to Six Flags, because they're not concerned about the little details. Disney, you go into the China Pavilion and you notice the little details about the buildings and the paper doors and like the little Easter eggs here and there that just pull you into that culture.
The sounds, the smells, everything. It's a 3-dimensional experience.
I would even say 4-dimensional.
Yeah.
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 It's it's really cool.
And another thing I love about World Showcase is the representatives from the other countries that work there.
Yes.
They went away for a while during the pandemic, but they are coming back. And just talking to all those people, and they're beautiful, beautiful people. And they will, as much as they can, because they're busy and they're doing a job, but they will sit and talk to you about their country and tell you their story. And again, we've talked about this before, but that's some of my favorite things. Is to get to know people. And if you can get to know people from another place, it takes you to that place and it gets you away from yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it gets you outside of yourself and it gives you a broader worldview and a more well-rounded view. I think that's really important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And we're people that really respect other people's cultures and are fascinated by it and interested and, you know, having that respect and interest. I think that's why we love World Showcase so much, is because we respect the cultures, from the food to the music to the people to their beliefs and everything. We're just so respectful and interested in it. So that's why I'm so excited to be talking about World Showcase in these episodes, because it's truly one of my favorite places. And I know the same for you guys too. And I really think the next time we all four go back, I think having a full day in like World Showcase, or not a full day, but like just spending our time walking around and really just like not even worried about riding any rides, just kind of walking through, trying foods, drinking, walking around and taking our time.
Yep, talking to people and
Yeah.
And to be
absolutely.
perfectly honest, I think like to truly, truly, truly immerse yourself into World Showcase, you need more than a day to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if you're going to get deep into each one of those pavilions and really explore and do all the things, you got to have time. And you need to take time because they're amazing.
Absolutely.
yeah. So let's talk about food in China a little bit. What are the restaurants there? I know they have your hometown Chinese food,
Right?
but is that it?
No.
So as she's looking up the other food in China, one of the things that I've read and seen a lot of videos and stuff on is the Chinese restaurant there. And it's basically everything that I've read is it's the same kind of Chinese food that you can get anywhere locally. So probably right at it would be considered near the best of your local Chinese places, but it's that Americanized Chinese food.
Yeah.
Sweet and sour chicken, fried rice, those kind of things.
Yeah, I've been looking actually at the menus as Candace was talking for the two restaurants that are there. It looks good. I love Chinese food, or like American Chinese food. I love it, but yeah, I don't know. Nothing really stood out to
With
me.
all the rest of the fantastic food in Epcot,
Yeah.
it's hard to say that I want to prioritize Chinese food that I can get from down the street.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what are the two restaurants? Candace is looking for it in her book, but you have it online. What are the two restaurants?
So the first one is Nine Dragons Restaurant.
Okay.
That's going to be the bigger guy that I think you can eat at least lunch and dinner. I don't think there's breakfast there. And then Lotus Blossom Cafe is the other one. It says it's closed right now, so I imagine it might just be... Okay, it's 12 to 8 p.m. is the time, so...
So it's just closed for the day?
I think it's quick service. Yeah, it's counter serve. So it looks like a quick service type of restaurant. So definitely like a standard Chinese restaurant in your local area. The Nine Dragons looks pretty nice. The menu looks good. But like you said, standard. What you would get. What do we have here? Appetizers would be spring rolls, pot stickers, dumplings, bao buns, hot and sour soup, fried rice, just your...
All delicious. Just standard Chinese food restaurant kind of fare.
There is some spare ribs, Kowloon spare ribs. So there is... And salt and pepper shrimp. some other stuff. But yeah, we got some like spicy honey, crispy chicken, honey sesame chicken.
Yeah, I'm sure I wouldn't go hungry.
No.
I wouldn't go hungry, but at the same time, if I have a choice between that and going to Disney Springs and getting Morimoto Asia,
Right.
no contest whatsoever, because
Right.
Morimoto Asia I cannot get here at home, thank you very much.
Not
Or
even
the sticky
close.
ribs and the firecracker shrimp.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So also in China, we mentioned sort of the shopping is back, tucked away from everything else. Again, takes you down a little path that looks really quiet. You have to actually seek out the shopping there. But you can buy really cool things like actual authentic Chinese art. You can buy, like, there's some really cool stuff back in their gift shops that isn't like...
The paper fans, like
Yes.
the decorated paper fans are beautiful. And the
Yeah.
parasols and all the things. But you can actually get authentic Chinese beer back in that gift shop as well.
Ooh. I've never had Chinese beer.
I have not either. There is a beverage booth outside of the China Pavilion, and it is called the Lucky Something Tea Company. I don't know what the rest... So somebody's going to have to correct me. But the signature drink, I guess you could call it, they do some like bubble tea and that sort of thing, but they also have an alcoholic drink called Tipsy Ducks in Love. This is another thing that I have a lot of questions about because it is alcohol and cream
Okay.
in 100-degree heat. It does not sound wonderful to me. I've heard it's good, but it's not something I would probably go after.
You don't want a curdly drink.
I'd rather not, thanks.
Cottage cheese with rum.
Yum.
Who doesn't want that on vacation?
Right.
Joy of tea.
There it is.
Boozy ricotta.
Oh. Sounds like a band name.
Yeah, that's an interesting, especially in the heat. Yes, Tipsy Ducks in Love with bourbon, black tea, coffee, cream, and chocolate.
No.
That's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on in that.
Black tea.
And coffee.
There's like no fruity in.
Oh, absolutely not. No, it would just be the...
I need to see a picture of this. What did I say? Tipsy Ducks in Love?
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't have coffee, I would try it. But
I mean, it looks kind of like,
The Viking coffee?
yeah.
I wonder if they could do double the tea and leave the coffee out.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
Maybe, unless it's a pre-made situation.
Yeah. I mean, so the cream part is actually just whipped cream. So you could probably leave that off too.
Maybe.
Who doesn't
But-
like whipped cream?
Yeah,
Even
that's
in
just,
100 degrees.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to try.
It seems like it would be really heavy. And if
Yeah.
you were doing a drink around the world situation, that would be like you would need a serious break and some
Right.
food after that because
And if I'm drinking around the world, I'm getting the authentic Chinese beer,
right.
Yeah.
not some frozen concoction that has Japanese or Chinese tea in it.
Right. Which
So-
you're not even going to be able to taste.
Right. Okay. Is that it for China? Anything else we want to talk about from China?
I think they honestly could do better with the food situation. I
Yeah.
think they honestly could do better.
Yeah.
With the American palate, though, I just don't know.
Yeah, because I've even heard like they're spicy things that are labeled spicy on the menu are like Disney spicy and not actually spicy.
Right.
Oh, so like American spicy.
Yeah.
Like less than American spicy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like safe for everyone spicy.
Right. So that's the 3 that we're going to go through tonight.
Yep.
I think the next episodes we'll probably do four pavilions each, and then we'll wrap up the last episode of the year will be our What Do We Wish World Showcase had episode. And yeah, so look forward to a fantastic November. This is going to be a fun month of talking all about World Showcase. Remember, let us know which of these 3 pavilions would be your favorite. Let us know on our socials, Instagram, Facebook. For our 4 or 5 followers at Reddit, let us know there too. Whatever, we want to hear from you. And remember, there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
And we'll see you real soon.